Let's talk silicone mold. Hey, y'all. Welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and I am the founder and creator of Over by the Moon, which is primarily a candle decor company, but it's also dabbling into concrete resin and concrete home decor. But my bread and butter, of course, is the creation of pillar candles. And so I've been on Etsy for a little over 3 years now. I've had over 1,800 sales on Etsy alone. And now I want to share my knowledge of making pillar candles with you all. And so the goal of not only this video, but this channel in general is to provide tips and tricks when it comes to making your pillars. And also, if there are some other experienced candle makers out there who also happen to make pillars, I would love to share and compare notes and make each other better crafters. So always feel free to leave your comments below and let's make a community out of this. So in today's video, I want to discuss the pros and cons of using silicone molds for making your pillar candles. As you know, or you may not know, silicone molds are everywhere. You can find them on Amazon. You can go on Etsy and find specialty shops that do nothing but make silicone molds. Or you can even go online in the general Google search and find different companies or different shops that make silicone molds. So of course, we're going to start with the pros of using a silicone mold for your pillar making journey. And as you can see, this is an example of a silicone mold, and it's pretty wobbly. It's pretty flexible, making it an easy way to pop out your candles. And it's also very beginner friendly. So this is a brand new journey for you. I would probably recommend starting off with silicone molds. There's a reason that silicone molds are king of the market. So as stated, silicone molds are widely available across the internet, and I'm sure probably in some in-person craft shops. This mold produced this cute little heart teddy bear candle. And it was very easy to pop out. Like once the wax solidified, I was able to just push that candle out and bam, there we go. A little heart teddy bear candle. So very easy to find. They are also very easy to use given their flexibility, and they are budget friendly depending on the type and the quality of mold, silicone mold that you're looking to buy. I will say that they can be a little pricey, but with that being said, you get your money's worth if you decide to invest in a higher end quality silicone mold. So just keep that in mind. So those are the pros. Budget friendly, depending on the quality standard that you're looking for in a mold. Very easy to use, so a great option for beginners. And you can find them anywhere. Just do a quick Google search, do a quick Amazon search, bam, pops out. You get definitely a different variety of silicone molds, different shapes, different sizes, different styles. You can think of it, they probably got it for you. So with all of those pros being stated, I know you're probably thinking, what could possibly be a con of using a silicone mold? Well, believe it or not, there are a few that I've come across, not even that I can think of, that I've actually experienced while using silicone molds. And some of them are slightly more annoying than others, but as with all things, there are pros and cons. So let's start off with con number one. So the first con on the list is actually related to the pro on the list, which is that flexibility, right? See how it's real jiggly and malleable, just real flexible, right? Here comes the problem. Let's say I'm done making my heart teddy bear candle for the season. Let's say this, and this was actually a Valentine's Day candle that I did have. But let's say I'm done with that for the season and I'm ready to place this mold in storage. And so what I will do is get a little storage bin and place the mold in there. So what happens is if you end up placing molds on top of this, especially heavier molds, I don't know if you can, if that picks up well, but you would get this compression in the mold, thus causing a deformity of that mold, right? And so let's say you've had it like this inside your storage bin for X amount of time, and now you want to take it out and make more heart teddy bear candles. Well, guess what? because it's been pressed in that position for a period of time, it's going to stay like that. Like there's no getting that original shape back. So once it's like that, that mold is ruined as far as trying to make that into its original heart-shaped teddy bear candle. I've tried numerous things, and maybe if you know a way to get the original shape back, to comment below. But I've tried like stuffing paper towels to see if I could widen the shape back out into its original form. That didn't work. I've tried putting heavy things in there to see if I could stretch it back out into its original form, and that didn't work. So once that happens, that mold is done, at least from my experience. So you're going to have to look for a replacement mold. And after that happening so many times to so many molds, that can add up in price. So it's just something to consider when storing your molds, when storing your silicone molds. All right, so that takes us to our second con of using silicone molds, and that would be getting caked in and baked in fragrance oils and colors. So let's say, going back to our pink teddy example, I use this mold to make this particular teddy bear candle. But let's say that I now want to make this teddy bear candle using this mold, but I want to turn this candle white and I want to use a different fragrance. What happens is, once I pour wax into the mold and then I try to use a different fragrance, it's not going to perform well in your finished product, because you're going to have that lingering scent from the original candle, and because it's been used as a pink candle for so long, you're going to get color transfer onto that white candle. So that's a no-go in your finished product. And also, the deeper and richer that color is that you're using for your candle, the more likely, if you're trying to make a lighter candle later using that same mold, you're going to get that color transference. So it's best to have a dedicated mold for a dedicated candle style or variation, right? So if you know you want to make pink scented candles, it's good to have a silicone mold that's specifically dedicated to that pink scented candle. So you don't have to worry about, okay, well, now I want to make it white. You don't have to worry about any color or scent transference if you're choosing to change the scent as well. So just something to keep in mind, especially if you have a budget that you're trying to stick to. Like buying excess molds of the same style can add up depending on how many different variations of that candle that you're looking to make. So that's con number two. All right, so that takes us to con number three. And this is pretty frustrating, especially if you're new to the whole wicking your own candles. And by wicking, I mean threading a wick through the candle mold and centering your wick. As an example, you see the wick there on this teddy, and centering that perfectly so that it burns evenly, right? So most silicone molds on the market do not have a wick guiding center or a wick guide hole that shows you like, hey, you need to thread your wick through this hole to make sure that it's perfectly centered for this candle. So in the event that you don't have that, which a lot of molds do not, you have to kind of guess, or you can either guess by eyeballing it, saying, okay, this is probably the center. Or if you want to be more precise, you could get out a ruler and then use your measuring to find the exact center. However, even when you are measuring or just kind of eyeballing the center, depending on the style of the candle mold, it can still turn out not being centered. And I've had that happen on a few different styles, and it's a weird situation. But thankfully, that's pretty rare. If you can kind of get the center of it on the outside, it's going to translate that as being the center on the inside as well, and the center in your finished candle. So it's another thing to consider, and kind of a con when it comes to silicone molds. Although I did state that those were some flaws with the silicone molds in general, there are some higher end manufacturers that are aware of the deformities that can occur when molds are stored, and that are aware of lack of centering, um, a lack of wick guiding, I should say, to know where the center of the candle is. So the higher end silicone makers are coming out with products that have these hard PVC shells on the outside of the actual silicone mold. And so that way, this mold is always going to retain its shape and produce the candle that it should. And this is an example of what this mold produces, this candle. So no matter where I store this, I could put this in a bin, I could put 50 other molds on top. Because it has this outer protective shell on it, it's not going to lose its shape. And whenever I'm ready to make another candle, it's always going to turn out like this. Huge bonus. Also, it's got don't know if you can really see that, probably not on camera, but it's got a little wick guiding hole that lets you know that, hey, you need to thread your wick through this hole in order to make your wick perfectly centered for this candle. As you can see, there it is. So if you're willing to shell out a few extra bucks, then I would definitely recommend going for a higher end quality mold because you get more bang for your buck. Not only longevity, but it's nice to have that guide, just being honest. All right, guys, so we have reached the end of the video. I hope you found any of the information that I provided useful. If so, please make sure to leave a like and comment below. If you have questions about something that I may have said, or if you have suggestions or other pros or cons that I may have not included in this video, just let me know in the comments below. I want this channel to be something where we all learn from each other and we all grow in our craft of candle making. So that is all I have today for silicone molds. If you are an experienced candle maker and there's something that I may have forgotten, or if you have some tips for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I want this channel to be a place where we all learn and grow in our craft making candle experience, on this candle making experience journey. So if there's something that I forgot that's either a pro or a con, let me know below. Also, please hit the like button on your way out. It actually helps to promote my video and the YouTube algorithm, so it will reach other people who are looking to either start or enhance their pillar candle journey. So it helps me out and it helps the channel out. And I want us to grow as a community. So, like I said, please like and comment. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one.